There's a reason I'm not showing you pictures of cars and trucks and bikes and walkers on that bridge, because let's not go after all. Even though this thing is ready to be used, even though it is done, even though the ribbon cutting and the opening ceremony were set for this past Friday, which could have meant that people could be walking and driving and cycling across that bridge right now as I speak. Nevertheless, it is still closed. It is totally done and ready, but it is still closed because guess why? Or should I say, guess who? Headline: Donald Trump can't open the Strait of Hormuz, so instead he's blocking the Strait of Detroit. That's a headline from the Globe and Mail, the Canadian newspaper. The big, beautiful new bridge that Trump is not allowing us to use is a bridge that crosses the Detroit River. It goes from Michigan, from Detroit, across the Detroit River to Canada, to Windsor, Ontario. Canada fully financed and paid for this bridge. It is ready to be opened. It will be the biggest U.S. border crossing in Canada. It will be one of the most important routes for trade in the entire world, the single most important one with one of our two most important trading partners, Canada. But Trump won't let anybody use it, even though it's ready to be driven on. See, this is why we can't have nice things. When you have a corrupt government, you don't just have the embarrassment and the sort of depravity of the president giving out pardons after people write him checks to get those pardons. You don't just have the president's sons and his son-in-laws, their companies collecting hundreds of millions of dollars, even billions of dollars from foreign governments that then get favorable treatment from the president and his administration. You don't just get a trust for the president buying stock in a private company and then the president hosting an event for that private company at the White House and doing everything he can as president to boost the value of that company in which he holds stock. While the White House insists that categorically, just because he's president, he can't have a conflict of interest. It's like dividing by zero. Doesn't make sense. Sure. I mean, with a profoundly and really shamelessly corrupt president, you do get all of those things I just described, but you also get very practical consequences. You get a perfectly good, totally useful bridge that you're not allowed to use. It was supposed to open Friday. It is not open because Trump says he doesn't want it open. When this bridge does open someday, if Trump ever lets it open, you should know that there is a competing bridge a little way down the river, a privately owned, very old, very congested toll bridge that will likely lose some of its traffic because of competition. It will lose some of its traffic to this pretty brand new bridge that has just been built. The family that operates the competing old bridge earlier this year made a $1 million donation to Donald Trump's super PAC. In short order, a member of that family then got an in-person meeting with Trump Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick. The White House and the PAC say that was just a coincidence, no connection at all. But after the $1 million donation, he gets this meeting. And then the same day of the meeting, Howard Lutnick calls President Donald Trump, and that night Trump suddenly discovers new, supposedly trade-related reasons why he is now against this bridge, even though previously he had been for it. The one family in the world that will financially not benefit from this bridge being open pays Donald Trump's super PAC $1 million, and wouldn't you know it, Donald Trump suddenly decides that he has reasons for taking their side and opposing the opening of the bridge, which again he used to support. That all happened in February. Now it's June. The bridge really was supposed to open. It was going to open. The invitations had gone out for Friday's ribbon cutting and Friday's opening ceremony. They had already put together and put out to the public the video instructions telling you how to put the toll ticket for the new bridge on your windshield. Or if you drive a commercial truck, you can put it on the license plate frame of your truck. Or if you drive a motorcycle, you can put the toll sticker thing on the headlight of your motorcycle. I had no idea. They've put out all these instructions. They're ready to cut the ribbon. They are ready to go. The bridge is ready for traffic, but nope. Donald Trump says no. Headline in Ontario Construction News. Gordie Howe International Bridge opening delayed again. No date in sight. Trump administration is insisting that this bridge should not be allowed to open because, heaven forbid, a MAGA donor be inconvenienced. One billionaire family that donates to Donald Trump, heaven forbid they be inconvenienced. Because that, to a corrupt administration, that is way worse than literally tens of thousands of people a day being deprived of the use of this fully built, fully paid for, ready to open, state-of-the-art, brand new, beautiful bridge. This is why we can't have nice things. Corruption. Corruption is why we can't have nice things. Speaking of toll crossings, looks like there's now going to be tolls for anybody who wants to cross the Strait of Hormuz. Now, technically, I guess it's illegal to call them tolls, but according to new reporting,